Okay, y'all. I am back with part 2. We are still in Judges chapter 6 discussing Gideon. Um I'm not even going to go through my disclaimer in this part because I did it in the first part. No need to go through all of that. All right, we're just going to jump right back into the word. We are covering Gideon, which is Judges chapter 6 verse 28 through verse 40. We're going to get this done right quick because I'm sure we all got other things to do. Okay? So the title of this is Gideon destroys the altar of Baal. Okay, verse 28, and I'm reading from the New King James Version Bible. Okay, and when the men of the city arose early in the morning, there was the altar of Baal torn down, and the wooden image that was beside it cut down, and the second bull being offered on the altar which was built. Okay, so people get up the next morning, see that the statue was cut down, the Asherah is gone, that somebody built an altar and offered up a sacrifice, right? Totally against their process. Totally. How dare somebody tear down the statue of Baal? How dare somebody cut down a Asherah and then give a burnt offering to God, right? So that's the same thing. We were just talking about generational curses when I ended the last video. People gonna come up against you, right? Because how dare you do that? How dare you not follow protocol? How dare you not follow the process and the procedure of the family, right? They're going to come up against you. Okay? So, verse 29. So they said to one another, who has done this thing? And when they had inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, has done this thing. These witches and warlocks gonna be like, hold up, who did this? Why is we having so much problems, right? Who tore down what we have built over years? Who came in the middle of the night and destroyed everything that we worked so hard over these generations to build up? Somebody gonna tell them, you did it. Because they talking about you, right? This is a prime example of the family and so-called friends talking about you. The witches and the warlocks are gathering, trying to figure out what just happened, right? You did it. You are the generational curse breaker. You're the one that God has called to tear these things down. Okay? Now, somebody gonna figure it out. Just like we see in the text. Somebody gonna figure it out and be like, oh, Jim Bob did it. Nate did it. Right? Taquana did it. John did it. Whoever. Whatever. You did it. God called you to do it and you did it. Right? So verse 30 says, then the men of the city said to Joash is Gideon's daddy, bring out your son that he may die, because he has torn down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the wooden image that was beside it. When you do these things that God has called you to do, people are not going to like it, right? Some people are going to call for your death. People are going to call for your head, okay? People are going to wish death upon you. However, just like God told Gideon, fear not. I'm with you. Can't nobody do nothing to you. I got you covered, right? And yes, weapons may form. What is that? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against you, you shall condemn. And this is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord. Exactly that. Okay? It don't matter if they try to do something to you. God got you covered. It don't matter what they say about you. It don't matter how many meetings these witches and warlocks have against you. It don't matter how many times they try to poison you. It don't matter how many times they try to throw you off. Just, it don't matter. God has put a hedge of protection around you, just like he did to Gideon. I got you. Don't worry about it. So when God calls you to do these things, don't worry about it. God got you covered. Okay? Let's keep going. Verse 31. But Joash said to all who stood against him, would you plead for Baal? Would you save him? Let the one who would plead for him be put to death by morning. If he is God, let him plead for himself, because his altar has been torn down. So Joash, who was Gideon's daddy, told them people, hey, look at, why is y'all out here fighting for Baal? Ain't Baal God? If Baal is God, then Baal should be able to fight for himself. My son did not go and destroy your property, right? My son did not go and tear down your house, right? My daughter did not walk and burn down your field. It was of Baal. It was of the root, the witchcraft, right? It was of the sorcery. It was of the crystals. It was of every divination that was not of God. So why are you over here trying to fight for him? If he's so mighty and powerful, why he ain't fighting for himself? Right? Here, Joash is Gideon's father in the physical, but our Father in spirit is saying, don't worry about none of these people or these things coming against you. I told you to do this. And if these gods and these things that people are fighting or wanting to come up against you for are so mighty and have power and control, why are they ain't fighting for itself? Right? Why is the witchcraft not standing up for itself? Right? And again, you will have people come against you when you do these things. But God is saying, don't even worry about it, because don't nobody got no more power than me. Don't no other God got no power over me. So if I'm telling you to do a thing, baby, trust and believe I got you covered. Right? If I tell you to go tear down an altar, tear it down. It don't matter what God, witch or warlock stands before it. I got you. That witch or warlock or whatever that's being defended don't got nothing over me, baby. So do as I tell you to do and don't worry about it. God is telling us, go in there, tear them things down. Don't worry about who may come against you. Can't nobody harm you. They may try, but God got you. Just like Joash told them, boy, hey, let Baal fight for yourself. If he God, then he got it. If Baal is God, then Gideon gonna have to deal with Baal, not y'all. That's like people gang up against you. It's just one of you, right? And one person don't like you, but it takes 6 people to come up against you. That one person ain't gonna come up against you by themselves because they know your hand. So they got to gather other people to come against you to make you look weak or to make this thing bigger than what it is. And God is telling you, baby, it don't matter how many people come against you in this process. My hand and my hedge of protection is over you. Okay? So this is what Joash is representing to Gideon right at this moment. Hey, y'all better go on with y'all business. If Baal is God, then let that God fight for himself. Shouldn't he be after Gideon and not y'all? Exactly. Let that sink in. Think about it for a second. All right. So we are going down to verse 32. Therefore, on that day, he called himself, or he called him Jerubbaal. Let me start over. Therefore, on that day, he called him Jerubbaal, saying, let Baal plead against him because he has torn down his altar. Okay. So in other words, they called Gideon a totally different name because they're like, okay, if that's the case, we gonna call him this because he done tore down this altar. Baal gonna go, Baal coming after him. So they changed his name. How many people have been called crazy, right? How many people have been called some type of name because you decided to walk away from family practices, right? Like they've literally labeled you crazy, or they've labeled you a traitor, or some type of thing. Like when God started speaking to me in Numbers, oh, I am definitely into root and witchcraft and divination and all the things that are not of God. Okay, cool. Fine, whatever. Call me what you want. However, when people tell me those things, I point them to the Bible, to the book of Numbers. Okay? The book of Numbers. There is no coincidence. There is a book in the Bible called Numbers. Okay? People like to put God in a box and say what God ain't going to do, what God won't do, all of this good stuff. How do you know what God ain't fixing to do, what he can't do, and what he won't do? I'm not the only one that God speaks to through Numbers, right? And that's something else that I had to learn. Before I had allowed people to tell me that was divination and that was not of God, I literally had to do some research. There's other people that, like, these things had to be brought to my attention in my face for me not to allow people to make me think that I was doing the wrong thing. But the only reason people wanted me to think that I was doing the wrong thing is because they did not want me to proceed in the process of God, right? So pay attention. If God is speaking you through Numbers, or God is giving you different signs, God may be speaking to you through colors. Like, can't nobody tell you how God is speaking to you. Why? Because this is your walk, and your walk ain't average. Not your average walk. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right, let's go to verse 33. Then all the Midianites and Amalekites, the people of the east, gathered together, and they crossed over and encamped in the valley of Jezreel. Okay? So, them boy mad. All right, they agreed to come together. They won't fight. Okay, they won't tear some stuff up. Gideon done started some mess, right? So now they want to come together and go against Gideon, right? Family and friends see your process, and they have now come together to come against you, to stop your process. Okay? It ain't fixing to happen. It ain't fixing to work. What God has told you, shown you, or given to you, God got you covered. It don't matter if Billy Goat Gruff come running at you right now. God gonna put up a stop sign and he gonna have to stop, right? And that's just like, there's things that God has shown me pertaining to my walk, family members and things like that. And I'm like, okay, God, do what you do. Because when God starts to move and God starts to curse these people that have cursed you, or God disrupts the hands that have been trying to oppress you, back up, stay out the way. It is what it is, right? Because when God says that vengeance is his, and for you not to do a thing, what God does in vengeance is way more deeper than what you could ever do in your hand of vengeance, right? And I know people have said things and done things and you won't get them. You won't do them dirty, right? But God has told you, vengeance is mine. So you've had to do things like I've had to do things. All right, okay, Lord. All right. I can't get them. I can't get them. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And this is another thing I had to come out. Take them out. Just take them out, right? I literally had to come out of that. I had to stop asking God to take people out, because you don't want me to fight them, you don't want me to cuss them out, then, right? And I'm just being honest. Like, I am just being honest, because we feel like that. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, whether you want to say it out loud or not, God knows your heart. Point blank, period. So I literally had to come out of, Lord, take them out. I'm tired of people playing with me. I'm tired of people playing in my face. Every time I turn around, you tell me vengeance is yours. When you gonna get them? When you gonna take them out? Right? And again, I had to learn to come out of that. Because one, our thoughts and God's thoughts are not the same. Right? There's nothing that you could do to somebody that is way worse than what God's hand is. Because when God said vengeance is his, baby, he means that. Vengeance is his, and the things that God does, we could never do. So let God have at it. Okay? Don't ask him to take nobody out, but just in due time, you will see these things. Right? And there's some things that family has done to you, the spells, the root trying to poison you, all of these things that family and friends have attempted to do to you. You're going to see those same things happen to those very same people, right? And when you see these things starting to happen, you will know exactly who played a part in what in your life. You will know exactly who the head witch is, who the warlock is, who your so-called friends are, and what they have been dibbling and dabbling in. Right? Like, there are people that literally go to psychics and readers on you to keep tabs on you, monitoring spirits, right? You get somebody to call you and be like, hey, what you doing? What you up to? Why? What's up? What? Something wrong? Right? People can't stand when I do that. Because, what's up? What's wrong? What going on? Stop telling them where you at. Stop telling them what you're doing. Stop telling them what the Lord tell you. Stop. Okay? Yeah, I get it. It might seem as if you're being nasty, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But if you knew what they was doing with your information, or you knew what they was doing behind your back, or you get like that. Right? And we have to understand that there is, once we know somebody has done something to us, or they're showing their hand and how they care about us and their thoughts and feelings, forgive them. Right? Forgive them. The Bible says when you are rejected and things happen to you, shake the dust off your feet and keep it moving. God got it. Right? God got it. Again, God says vengeance is his. Right? Forgive them, people, and shake the dust off and keep going. Now, there is something called boundaries. Okay? There is something called boundaries. And people will take your boundaries and try to twist it as unforgiveness. Okay? People will take your boundaries and try to twist it as unforgiveness. Right? I have a family member that tells me all the time, oh, you just need to forgive them. And I'm like, forgiveness has nothing to do with it. I choose not to. Right? So when you make a choice to stay away from the people that have wronged you, don't let somebody try to make you feel like your choice and boundaries is wrong. We all have the right to boundaries. And for some people who don't know what boundaries are, it's a line of demarcation. It is a line of separation. Yes, I can be around you, but I don't have to speak to you. No, I don't have to be in the same room with you. I ain't mad at you. I just don't want nothing to do with you. You have that right. You have that right. Okay? Because once somebody lets you know how they think and feel about you, you have every right to separate yourself from that person. God says, love your neighbor. You can love them from afar. Okay? So if you're going through that process of people telling you that you're unforgiving, or You just need to forgive and forget, and you know that you are clean, pure in your heart with whatever has happened. There's nothing wrong with your boundaries. And don't let nobody try to set you up to be in a room with a snake that you know that is a snake that ain't trying to hide the fact that they're a snake. And the person that's not respecting the fact that you have set up boundaries against the snake, watch them. Because I promise you, that's a snake in disguise too. Okay, let's carry on. Verse 34 says, "But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon. Then he blew a trumpet, and the Abarites gathered behind him." Okay, so the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon and gave him strength. Okay, because remember, Gideon was like, I'm the weakest thing in the house. I'm the weakest link. But when all of these different tribes teamed up together to come against Gideon, God gave him strength, right? And not only did God give him strength, he blew the trumpet. Okay, now the trumpet is a ram's horn, okay, and it's called a shofar, right? So a shofar back then was used to sound the alarm, right? That was a call of battle. That was the battle call of, hey, something fixing to go down. We need to suit up, right? We need to gather all of what we need to gather and prepare for war. Okay, so that's what the shofar was used during that time. It was for a call of battle. We saw that in Joshua chapter 6 with the walls of Jericho, that the priests blew shofars when they circled Jericho, right? Those were calls of war. That was the call of battle. So we see the same thing here with Gideon. Gideon calling, hey, it's time to suit up, right? And this is what God is telling us. Hey, suit up. Put your boots on the ground. Full armor of God from head to toe. And you can find the full armor of God in Ephesians 6. And I think it starts at verse 10. And you read it on down. And for those of you that wondering about my disclaimer or don't like my disclaimer, it's Ephesians 6 and 12. Period. Okay, go read it. You'll figure it out. It'll make sense to you. All right, so verse 35, and he sent messengers throughout Manasseh, who also gathered behind him. He also sent messengers to Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. Okay, y'all, this is the body of Christ coming in together. This is the body of Christ operating as one band, one sound, as one unit. Okay, we saw where God told Gideon that he was going to be an army as one man. This is the army. Gideon is about to lead the army, right? And he's coming in full force. No, he's not physically just the one man, but this is where God is going to bring in your destiny helpers. Okay, we're going through some things, and God uses people, right? God uses people to help bring us out of our situations. God uses people to help us get through our situations. So when Gideon sounded the alarm, it was time to suit up, baby. We fixing to go to war, right? Boots on the ground, right? And if you if you ride motorcycle, right? If you in a motorcycle group, you know the term boots on the ground. That means everybody has made it to their destination safely. That means that everybody who was on this ride has made it to their home safe and sound, right? So boots on the ground, when God is talking about put your boots on the ground, and I made a video on boots on the ground, God is literally meaning, hey, it is time to put on the full armor of God, suit up, put your boots on, so you will be fully protected as you take this journey. Right? So that means that nothing that comes against you will prosper from head to toe. And your feet are important, baby, because you need them feet. You need them feet to take steps, literally, in the spirit and in the physical. So when God is calling for his army to suit up, make sure your boots is nice and tight, because them feet is made for walking. Okay? You might need to tighten up your shoelaces to do a little stumping too, but hey, he is what he is. Okay? We're going to move on. Now, the title of this part is The Sign of the Fleece. Okay? So we only got a few more verses left. Now, God done give Gideon the scrim. Gideon feeling good. Gideon done blow that horn. It's time for us to suit up. We need to prepare. This what it's fixing to be. Alright? Now check Gideon out, right? So Gideon said to God, if you will save Israel by my hand, you have said, look, and this is going into verse 37. Look, I shall put out a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece only, and it is dry on the ground, then I shall know that you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said. All right, so now check it out. In the first part, Gideon was like, okay, if this is you, let me know it's you, right? Let me know that this is you talking to me. Let me know that this is you confirming a word, right? This ain't my imagination that somebody playing with me. Lord, confirm. All right, so God did that, right? God confirmed to Gideon that, hey, listen, I am telling you, it is me. This is what I am calling you to do. All right, now fast forward. Gideon done blew this trumpet. It's time to suit up. It's time to go to war. And Gideon is like, Lord, I know we didn't have this conversation before, but baby, I need you to confirm that you really fixing to send me in this battle. I need you to confirm that you know that it's me that you're going to use for this thing. Again, so many of us, Lord, listen, I know you done showed me this. I know you done told me this, but this thing fixing to pop off, and I need to know that you here with me, right? And I think it was Moses that told God, hey, I ain't going nowhere if you ain't in it. I'm not fixing to take one step if you ain't stepping with me, right? So Gideon is like, okay, Lord, this thing fixing to get really real, right? I need to know for sure that you fixing to use me to do this thing. I need to know that you there to cover me when this thing pop off, right? So verse 38, and it was, okay, and it was so, when he rose early the next morning and squeezed the fleece together, he wrung the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. The very thing Gideon asked God to do. Hey, when I get up in the morning, let this thing be wet up, okay? Let it be up, let it be wet, and let the ground be dry. Now, if this thing wet up and the ground is dry, okay, I got it, right? It's you. You got me. I know you got me. We fixing to do this thing, right? Now, check this out. He get up the next morning, and the fleece is wet, the ground is dry. He done wringed out a whole bowl full of water. Verse 39. Then Gideon said to God, do not be angry with me, right? But let me speak just once more. Lord, listen. I know I had just asked you to do something. I had just asked you to give me a sign. I know you did it. I see it. But don't be mad now. But I still ain't confident that that's what it is. I still ain't got it that you fixing to do this thing for real. Right? You following me? Lord, like, I know I didn't ask you more than one time to show me something, and you have. But don't be mad now, because I just need, like, I need to do this thing again. Right? I got it, but I ain't got it. I see it, but I ain't sure. Right? Like, I kind of, Lord, help me. Okay? So, we still in verse 39, and let me start over. Then Gideon said to God, do not be angry with me. Let me speak just once more. Let me test, I pray, just once more with the fleece. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, but on the ground let there be dew. Okay, so now Gideon went to God and was like, okay, listen, I know I asked you to let the ground be dry and the fleece be wet. And yeah, I didn't wring out all the water out this fleece, but Lord, do it again. Like, reverse this thing so I know it's really real, right? Show me it's real, really real. All right, so verse 40, it says, and God did so that night. It was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew on the ground. Okay, y'all, had to take a quick little intermission right there. So, again, verse 40 says, and God did so that night. It was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew on all the ground. Okay? Listen. God did exactly what Gideon asked him to do. Lord, give me a sign. Lord, show me. Right? And so many of us are in that place right now where things fixing to pop off, right? We fixing to go into battle. Whatever this thing is God called us to do, we getting ready to step into it. And it's like, hold up. I know you done showed me this thing. I know you done gave me a sign. I know I asked you to show me this. I know I asked you to do this. Yeah, Lord, you've done it. But you sure is me. You sure you gonna use me, right? Y'all, listen, I am here to tell you, if God done showed you a thing, God done told you a thing, baby, it's you. It is you, right? It is you. Okay? So stop doubting. Right? Stop thinking it's a mistake. You hearing things, you seeing things. It's just my imagination. It's not. Okay? It is God telling you, baby, suit up. Prepare for the thing that is at hand. God fixing to give you this thing, and He is expecting you to stand 10 toes down on what He has asked you to do in this process. Because whatever this thing is that God has shown you or God has given you to do, this is not just for you, right? This is for the kingdom. This is for you to build and help build the kingdom of God, right? This is for other people to see that, yes, things happen in life. Yes, we all go through things, but at the end of the day, when you trust and believe in the Lord, He will bring you out. Okay? Not only is He going to bring you out, it's going to be double for your trouble. For me, it's going to be quadruple for my trouble because, whew, thank you, Lord. Anywho, we're going to wrap this up. But y'all, listen, if there is something that I said that resonated with your soul, with your spiritual system, right, and you need confirmation that this is for you, right, because this wasn't so much as a prophetic word but just a basic teaching. But again, there's things that people say that kind of resonate with you, right, and it makes sense and things like that. And like I always say, hey, don't eat up everything that you hear, right? You take it back to the Lord. You test the spirit by the Spirit. Okay, God will confirm if this is for you or not. Again, I don't see this as being, a prophetic word or anything like that. Just a little teaching from the Bible, a little Bible study, a little understanding, a little clarity. Again, however, if it comes off to you in that manner, take it back to the Lord. Again, test the spirit by Spirit. Let the Lord confirm to you that this is your word. This may be a confirmation to you already that God called you to do something. Okay, and you may be sitting like Gideon, Lord, I need confirmation. I need you to show me something. I need you to do something. So this very well may be your confirmation from the Lord. Okay, so I don't know what I said I was going to title this, but I'll figure it out. Anywho, it is Saturday morning, y'all. Have a good day, good afternoon, good night, good evening. Whenever you see this, I am not your average.